G'day punters, welcome to episode 14 of the Neds NRL Punting Podcast. It's our Origin 1 special. Thank you for your eyes, ears and soon-to-be opinions as well. My name's Jared Timms. With me is a bloke whose career statistics I usually reel off at this point of the show, but only one matters for the Origin special. From 2011 through till 2011, 3 games for the Queensland Maroons.
Oh, it's good to be here, boys. It's absolute pleasure. What a week.
You sound like you're full of life.
Yeah, I am. I've had a great weekend and I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
What did you get up to this weekend?
Had a
Jharal?
Bucks party.
Ah, okay.
Golf. Beers.
Yep.
Deleted scene.
Yeah.
Scene missing Monday for the podcast.
I'm here and I'm ready to go.
All right. Also with me, former New Zealander and a bloke who apparently pegs himself as a Queenslander at this point of the year. It's Chris Garry.
Yeah, absolutely. We pump for Origin, boys, or what? How's the vibe? Do we think that the vibe is there? What's the build-up like?
I'm feeling great, but I'm a little bit deflated after Jharal's start to this.
No, I'm okay. I feel like I need Origin to be here. You know what I mean? I need it this week.
Is this going to be a sober Origin for you?
100%. 100%.
He might be asleep, I think.
I'm not going to lie to you. I actually don't really, only if I ever go to the games, I really drink to Origin. If I'm watching it somewhere or I'm watching it at home, I don't, because I'm too involved in it to be, So if I get into a box at the stadium, it's on.
Are you hoping that people with the access to the boxes are listening to the Neds NRL Punting Podcast this week?
Not this week, no.
And he's not wearing a spray-on polo shirt this week, but he still looks great. It's the form guide follower, Ryan Cook.
G'day, guys. How we all going? I'm pumped for Origin. Can't wait.
Yeah.
I was excited to be in the awe of a Queensland great, but he's very flat today.
No, don't never flat. It'll come.
Okay.
We'll get there, boys. We'll get there. And
slow burn.
Yeah,
look, I do feel the build-up's been a bit flat. Just in terms of the office, for instance, today when I'd mentioned Origin this Wednesday, they're like, what? It is? There's a bit of, I think it hasn't really resonated with the common average fan.
I think the other reason is because it's not for us Queenslanders here. You know, when it's here in Queensland, it's 3 weeks in advance. You know, It's like people in shops and bakeries everywhere around Brisbane have got, maroon stuff out. It's pubs are ready to go 3 weeks in advance. So I think it's a different kind of feel when we play down there.
Absolutely nothing contentious has happened this week too. No injuries. Have Freddie and Billy forgotten to do the mind games thing?
Well, look, when I used to be in camp doing the reporting and stuff, we love the mystery illness.
Yeah.
And look, sometimes it was very much embellished and there was a bit of a wink and nod from the Maroons, like, hey guys, play this up. But at least got people talking. As well as that ankle, there was always someone had an ankle or, race around the clock to see if they can get fit. There's been none of that. Billy hasn't engaged in any of that mystery. I think on the weekend he even admitted that Xavier Coates will play on the left wing. It's been different.
Incredible. Saves.
No mystery monkeypox.
No. That'd be
that's good.
Still a couple of days. I think it might be sitting in the studio right next to me, to be honest.
Just be careful, boys.
Yeah.
Jharal, last week you gave us a little bit of an insight into your very first Origin experience as a player, 18th man, just a shorter time in camp and a big night on the grog by the sounds of things.
Yep, Wednesday night.
I was hoping to talk a little bit more about your first full week in camp as a debutant. Now, Queensland will have 4 or 5 blokes going around for the first time this week. We're recording on a Monday afternoon here, a little more than 48 hours until kickoff. What's happening right now in the Queensland camp?
Yeah, obviously, I'd say they would be pretty much in Sydney by now. I don't know that for real. Chris,
I think they're
on
the flight. Yeah, I just tried calling someone and went straight to voicemail.
So I could imagine they'd be on the way to Sydney now, and just a couple of days in advance. They obviously do their team run down there, and I think it would be leaving Queensland to go to Sydney is. I think it's a bit of a shock to the system because you've been up here, like I said, we spoke about before. The vibe in Queensland is here, and they're staying at Sanctuary Cove. So when I went there the other day to see them train, it's everywhere. It's a vibe. It's all around there. So they're going into hostile territory now, and it's going to be very, very different for them. Even where they're staying, I could imagine any of the hotel people will get a chance to. They'll chuck a biscuit in there that says New South Wales. Oh, that's the type of stuff. So I reckon it's nerve-wracking for the new guys. But if you've played before, it's just you know what you're going to get. And but nerves start to kick in now. It's starting to get real, and I'm sure it's a bit more chilly than it is down there than it is in Queensland.
When you get to New South Wales tomorrow. Is it pretty much all of the hard work's done by this stage? Is it the last session isn't a particularly grueling one?
So short and sharp. It's get through your, probably have a little game at the start, get through your sets. Bill will say what he wants, and I suppose every camp's different with every coach. So I'd say that the shorter the session with the team run, it'll be taken by Daly. They'll let them go and do their own thing. He'll just say where they're going to start their sets, whether it's a 20 tap or whatnot. And then after that, they'll do a lot of more individual stuff. So that's all that, those 1%ers that you need. And I think after that, it's just if you've played there before, you're all calm and collected. But the hype of trying to in Origin is just trying to understand that don't play the game too early if you're fairly new, and you've got to put yourself around the right players, I suppose. I mean, I was lucky. I was with Bill, so I stuck around them most of the time. And if I went to breakfast, and we'll go for a team walk. So I wouldn't say for the debutants yet that they're starting to get nervous, but after that team run's done, you got a lot of time, especially on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because you don't, you get up and go for a walk and have breakfast. You've got at least a good 7-8 hours where you've got to think about this. So that's where you need to really occupy yourself. And I go back to, I never really early in my career really had, a schedule of what I did, but I suppose when you start playing good games, you take things away from that and you go, okay, I played well, that week. What did I do there to, so implementing how your schedule is. And I'm not sure those younger boys have, they might have got there. And I think they're a lot more professional these days, but that's something that you need to do is make sure that you're on the ball with that because you can get very, very nervous.
Did you struggle to sleep night before or?
No. To be honest, I took my PlayStation everywhere with me. I know that sounds, I know everyone's like, oh, playing games, but that wasn't out for me. So, and especially in Origin camp, you can, because when you go away, they put you by yourself. You're not with roommates, especially when they go to Sydney. 2 nights before, they won't be with each other. So it'll be you're by yourself in your room. So you're just trying to buy time. And on game day, I wake up, have breakfast, go for my team walk, come back, play a bit of PlayStation, and then I sleep for 2-3 hours because they're starting. What is a 7:50 game again on Wednesday? Yeah, it's late. So, and I'm sure a lot of these boys have understood that now. But even some of them don't always get night games. Play on after if you're a crap team, you're a pretty shitty team. You're probably playing during the day. Yeah. So yeah, it's something that you have to have a good schedule and routine that you understand. So that was mine, and not much to it, but just made sure that I did those things.
Is there any sort of hazing as a new guy? Do you have to buy the team dinner or anything like that?
No, I don't. I mean, I know.
To say something.
Yeah. Let's take it over here.
No question.
Well, I think it's more Alf. Like it's more Alf when you're new. It's it's that bonding session that you come in with, and it's nothing malice. It's all fun, but he can get you. The big fella, he'll get you. So that's the only thing. I don't really think. I mean, at the Broncos, I remember that when you debuted for them, you have to do this. You have to score a try at the end of the game, at the end of the training on team run. But Queensland's, they got 4 now. So I know they used to do that as well. So who does that? They don't, they don't have a decision. So yeah, there's not really any hazing, but it's that first couple of nights, Alf will get you in Alf's world. Yeah,
Alf used to get the journos. So his tradition was in Sydney, Rose and Crown in Para there Tuesday night. The staff for the Maroons would often, that'd be their sort of night out, and the journos would join them, and Alf would just rip into you, just forcing you to do shots. And you're like, me, for me, I'd have to be on telly the next day. Like my face is going to be fat, my voice is going to be like,
like I am right now. Yeah. I think Alf was where I was on the weekend. But it is. It's not a tradition, but it's something that you don't see coming. I mean, you get it week in and week out of the Broncos, so you're so used to it. But yeah, it's honestly a really if Alf's not there, it's not as fun. He's the best to be around.
All right, guys. Well, everybody loves having a bet in every State of Origin game every year. Look, it's probably the most patriotic punting that we see each and every year, isn't it, Ryan? It's obviously the basis of what we're here for as well. I'm keen to hear where everyone's looking for a few pretty key markets here. First try scorer is one that we all love. I have typically dipped into the Tom Trbojevic well the last 3 or 4 years, and it's been happy hunting, to be fair. Obviously, without him in the side this year, I've had to look a little bit further away. I think it's a pretty obvious one, though. I think that New South Wales will be getting on the board first. They've picked Daniel Tupou because I think they're just going to bomb the ball to him a lot. They're certainly going to do that early. $9 first try scorer. All of these prices are subject to change, of course, but on Monday afternoon, $9 first try scorer.
Well,
I think it's
just
terrific.
on that, there's a lot of chat that Crichton will start.
And Tupou off. Well, right, okay.
Yeah,
No, but-
so
okay, all right.
yeah, Jack Whiten will go to bench and Crichton
Okay,
will start.
fair.
So I think there could be some value there.
Okay.
As obviously he'd play a lot more minutes. So yeah, but I think as well with Tupou, is he going to be up against Selwyn Cobbo, I imagine, or would they switch it so he's up against Coates? If Coates is going to be on the left wing, so there might be some games played there
They're
too.
all credible air performers as well,
Yeah.
too. Where are you looking first try scorer, Jharal?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I've gone same thing that you've gone in your concept, Xavier Coates. I think he's great in the air, and if they get an opportunity to go early aerially, I think they'll go for him. Not saying that Selwyn Cobbo's no slouch in the air, and if he's up against Brian Toto, they might go that way. But I've gone Coatesy. I think he's I just think he's very, very safe in a big moment, and yeah, I'd like them to go that way first. This will be my first time actually being able to.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, punt on Origin.
Wow.
So I've never done it before, so this is very new to me. So I'm very excited.
Interested to hear where you're looking for your first try scorer.
Yeah, I think Ben Hunt is a really good option just for value wise, because often it's that momentum early in its field position often leads to a first try in an Origin game, and he's someone that can really capitalise on that little dummy and go.
I'm not entirely sure if this is a bit of insight too, but there has been a bit of a firm for Harry Grant over Ben Hunt today, actually. So perhaps if he starts,
might
I mean, it's
be.
the same idea. At the moment, as we speak, $51 first try scorer Ben Hunt. You wouldn't hate it.
Get
I
on.
would not
Ryan?
hate that.
I've gone Brian Toto.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think Queensland has the advantage. Like in terms of wingers, I think they have the advantage in the air. But yeah, New South Wales, much better finishes in the corner. And I think Toto scored twice in game one last year. So
Yeah. $9.
$9, yeah.
Looks a pretty good bet as well. Man of the match. I typically only look at this in Origin and grand finals every year. Do you like anyone for man of the match? Does anyone stand out to you?
Yeah, I thought if Hunty starts for me, I think he is man of the match. He showed that the Origin jersey is friendly to him when it comes to winning these awards. So for Queensland that is, but yeah, I got a feeling he's fit. And if he's starting in that 9 position, it's going to make it his own, and he'll be dangerous. He'll be very, very dangerous to New South Wales. So yeah, I've gone Ben.
$21 man of the match we're looking at the moment, Chris.
Yeah, look, I think it's got to be someone in the spine, and I think if Queensland's going to win, Daly Cherry Evans has to be man of the match.
Right.
Yeah, I think if he controls and dominates the game, Queensland win. It's that simple. So
For me, if New South Wales win, this is the way that I'm looking, of course, I think it will be as a result of a huge performance from the captain, James Tedesco. He's going to see a lot of ball there. He's very good in these
Great
moments.
form.
$8 man of the match, Ryan.
I'm with you, Timsy. Yeah, he'll also tie Peter Sterling, Alfie, and Andrew Johns on
Wow.
4 man of the matches if he wins it. So yeah, I'm with
Elite
Teddy
company.
as well.
That is elite.
All right, just for a little bit of a change of pace, let's move away from Origin for a second. Really good response on the socials this week to our chat, more so your chat. Last week,
Who would
Chris
have
Payne Haas
thought?
and his contract fiasco.
Yeah.
We actually had more than 100,000 punters watch that clip in full.
wow.
Now, Ryan,
That's
you've
pretty cool.
selected a few choice comments.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
Are you ready, Gazza? Here
Yes.
we go, mate. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. A lot of people saying contracts are broken all the time, and then others saying Haas isn't worth the coin. Surprise, surprise. First is from Les Cahill, who says, this is
Tim
aimed
Cahill's.
yeah, this is aimed at you. Who is this bloke? Sounds like another Murdoch stooge.
Hey, I was once upon a time. Shout out to Rupert.
Ray Stanley, he says, no forward is worth $1 million. Rather spend on the spine. Who would spend that on Haas? That's why he's staying. Craig Fisk says, Greg Eastwood played 2 years of reserve grade at $800K to $1 million because his contract was back-ended. The Bulldogs told him to find another deal, but he said, I'm on this much, I'm staying.
Yeah, but the point being, like, well, that's a good point. He stayed in reserve grade.
Exactly.
When he realistically could have been part of their 17. Probably not in the final year. He wasn't the best there, Greg. But I think that was some of the comebacks that, and there's definitely some merit that, hey, when a player does get moved on, they still get paid. But the point being that they've signed a contract to play if they're among the best 17. And a lot of the times clubs will just push them out until they get the shits and go.
Can't disagree there. Greg Price says, please don't tell me Haas can't live on $800,000 per year. The Broncos should tear up the so-called contract and the NRL should impose a 2-year ban for not honouring the contract. And then the last
That's throat-worthy.
Last one from Peter Edwards. Where is the wanker emoji?
I don't know if you're referring to him.
Not really sure.
Eggplant. Eggplant. That could be taken two ways.
Yeah. Christian Welch liked a couple of the comments in support of me, so shout out to Christian.
Did he?
Yeah, Luke Bateman as well, former Raiders player, chimed in and really backed up from a player's angle. At the end of the day, something needs to be sorted from both sides. This will keep happening unless the NRL come in and change their rules. I really like the idea of the NBA style I've said this before, salaries are also being exposed and public, but also that scale of when you're in year 6, you can only achieve this much, and you're in year 8, then your salary can be this much, and max contracts and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that protects the teams as well, because when players do age, their value tends to go down. So
yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Ryan. Let's get into the offload.
Let's do it.
All right, round 13, of course, was the first abridged round of the week. Ryan, only 4 games played, but always a don't argue.
Yeah, a little bit of a tricky week for the punters, but your man, who I left out a couple of weeks ago, Ruben Garrick, scored a second half double at $8.25 against the Warriors, playing fullback in the absence of Turbo.
Just on that point, how good were the Seagulls last week? Premiership threats, do you reckon?
I was about to say they're 2 points off the 8. Are they back on course?
No,
the Warriors are just that bad?
No, it was more of a comment on how bad the Warriors are.
The only thing they're a real threat to is Nathan Brown's career.
Yeah.
How long does he last?
That's the next nail in the coffin. So,
Garrick's now scored in 6 of Manly's last 7 games at Brookvale, and just that second try he scored when it came off the head of Rocco Berry was quite good.
What a name. Rocco Berry.
It's like Sav Rocco. Great, one of the great Roccos. Punters pals, Taylor May, he scored at least 1 try in each of Penrith's last 7 home games. $1.90 favourite against the Bulldogs on Friday night. Panthers face the Knights again this week, and he scored a hat-trick against them in round 3. So
a lot of talk now that Charlie Staines will be has been given permission to negotiate because Taylor May's so good. Charlie just can't get a run now in the Panthers.
Where's he going to go? The Bulldogs?
Dolphins.
Oh, fair. Okay,
all the dogs, yeah.
I actually forgot about that club.
Got to remember out that club, mate. They're the new one.
Yeah.
New franchise.
The other name was Sebastian Chris, young Raiders centre. He's scored in 4 straight games now after crossing under the post on Sunday against the Chooks. He's also scored in 5 straight games in the starting lineup, and you were taking $3.25 any time there on Sunday. So just a name to keep in mind when I'd say he gets a game again. The Raiders playing this week. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the draw, but
the Bronx.
Yeah. The Bronx. There we go. Yeah.
Well, I suppose depending on how many players the Broncos rest and everything too, might be another good opportunity for them. How about if you're not first, you're last?
Lots of rough results, as you'd expect during an Origin week. So the book cleaned up on all 4, and that was starting with Toby Sexton at $41 on Thursday against the Cows.
Wow.
Chris Smith scored Penrith's first at $26 on Friday against the Dogs, and then it got very ugly. So Toa Fafoa Sipley, $67 for Manly, and then Adam Elliott, $51 for Canberra.
Outstanding. Any movement in our futures markets this week?
Just a couple. So the Roosters are $8 out to 10 now, and the Raiders $51 into $41. Not that anyone really cares, but
not as much opportunity for this, but did we take any bloody good bets?
Just a few. So we had $75K on the Cowboys to cover, -5.5 against the Gold Coast, $30K on the Panthers, -10.5, and then $45K on your Manly Seagulls, Timsy, to cover.
Outstanding. Surely something in Don't Tell the Misso.
7.5K on the Warriors to cover versus Manly. So the line was 18.5, and they lost by 32. We took 5K on Nick Kotrick anytime, 4K on Hudson Young anytime, 10K on the Roosters, -5.5. So some pretty bad ones in a very tricky week.
Makes me feel better.
Yeah.
All right.
Wipe out on Saturday?
Abridged round and an abridged offload. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Thank you, boys.
All right, punters, early payout is available on State of Origin 1. Back Queensland or New South Wales head-to-head, and if your selection leads by 6 points or more at halftime, you'll be paid out early. Who's going to be leading by 6 points or more at halftime, Jharal?
Well, obviously Queensland.
Do you reckon they will?
Yeah, I do. I think they come out of the box.
Yeah, I think New South Wales.
Yeah, I think New South Wales get on the board first, and I think they'll
I'm with the Blues too.
more often than not be leading at the break.
Traitors.
All right, punters, it's pretty easy this week. That applies to your first $250 stake. T's and C's apply. They are available at the website. And if you're having a bet, always remember to gamble responsibly.
The Neds NRL Punting Podcast Multi.
All right, guys, the downside of dedicating an entire show almost exclusive to Origin is that we're limited in our selections. The upside is that it forces us into a same-game multi for the first time this season. And how good is the same-game multi? It's been a month since our winning multi lobbed now. The upside, the AFL show, still yet to get one. And they're getting worse, I think.
I'm the only one that's tipped a winning leg over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So it's
They're
grim.
getting worse.
It's very grim.
I think this is a great opportunity to open up the gap even more. We're
Please.
obviously all in the same game here, Jharal. Why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I just got a feeling that Queensland breed some very good outside backs, and knowing how much and how much it means to you to score on debut, I've gone with Selwyn Cobbo to score any time for the Queensland boys, and you just honestly these moments for someone like him, you dream about these for so long, and he's come out very regularly and said that he's always wanted to play for Queensland. He's made an appearance since the start, and it's only taken him 19 games to do so. So that's why I've gone anytime at try scorer Selwyn Cobbo.
Did you score a double on debut?
No, not a double. I scored 2 tries in my first series.
Yeah.
I almost scored a double. They took it away from me.
Outstanding. $2.50 anytime tries.
Beautiful,
All right, nice
beautiful.
way to start. Chris.
Just bringing some value, man. Ben Hunt seemed to be in love with him this week, but anytime try scorer, I just think he as Jharal said earlier, he's a really good Origin player. He's been one of Queensland's best for years now, actually. And he's one of these players who actually performs better the bigger the stage at the moment. So, yeah, anytime Ben Hunt.
Hookers at representative level too, I think always represent terrific value for an anytime try scorer. $8.50 anytime.
I like
try
it.
scorer, Ben
I like
Hunt.
it though.
Do not hate it at all. Now, I've gone a little more conservative, but, certainly anything but a sure thing. I've taken over 36.5 total match points. Now,
I don't know about this.
Well, I don't think
Not sure.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but the way that I was considering it is the amount of try scoring potential. There's a lot of debutants. I think the attacking is probably going to be a bit more impressive
Like
than
a
the
24-16
defense.
sort of
Exactly,
score.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
A 36.5 line is one team winning by 19-8.
I mean, for a fan's point of view, that's you're licking your lips, aren't you? If you're scoring that many
Footy's
points,
a real winner there.
100%. 100%. So I'm not angry about it.
Yeah, well, I'm just really betting on us having a great show to watch on
Yeah.
Wednesday
It can
night,
go
really.
either way out at Homebush as well, because that slippery service can mean defense is bad,
Yeah.
or it can mean both teams just get very conservative in
Yeah.
playing that middle
Yeah, and if
third.
it's 38-0 to Queensland, it makes it even better.
It'd be just our luck, though, for Chris's $8.50 anytime to lob and my $1.90 shot to go close.
Probably right.
All right, for those three combined, let's recap. Selwyn Cobbo, anytime try scorer. Ben Hunt, anytime try scorer. Over 36.5 total match points. When you put that one together by yourself, it comes out about $21. But the Neds bookies have given us a nice little pump again, $29.
Like it.
The Neds level.
Get it?
Love
Are you
it.
going to have a crack at this one, Jharal?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm having a crack,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
going to go. I'm going to have a go.
Gotta have a go.
I'm going to have a go.
Yeah.
Are you going to bet on this thing as well?
Yeah. I'll probably have a crack in the bet as well. Yeah.
I did win
I've
some
had a go.
money.
Look, I've gone all weekend. I've got to go. I've got to keep it going.
Yeah.
I've got to go. Just got to go.
We got through 3 segments today before we started putting this into the toilet as well. So all right, punters. The Neds NRL Punting Podcast Multi is built for your convenience under NRL round specials at neds.com.au or on the Neds app. All right, guys, it's that point of the show. 2 days until State of Origin. What are your final thoughts of the week, Chris?
Yeah, just back on the idea of it build-up being a bit flat and talking about that awesome AFL podcast where so many things go right for you. You don't have anywhere. Is it about a quarter of the viewers that NRL podcast has?
Something like that, mate. Yeah. Whatever makes you
listeners,
sleep at night.
Lesser punters.
I was just wondering, like, what do AFL guys talk about at a time? Like, you don't have anything else to talk about.
just fairy footy, mate. You know?
It's surely hard to saddle up every week with them.
It is, yeah. Especially when
We
Dylan's
realised-
hosting. We've all met Dylan.
I realised you were going to crumble on him so much. That's nice. Love where your allegiance is. Love it.
I'm
Love
going to have a final thought this week. Speaking of Dylan and his productions, congratulations on your acting
Yes.
debut
Yeah.
this week, Chris.
Thank you.
Both of you.
Episode 1 of More to More, lobbed on Sunday night. Absolutely outstanding.
How is there more than one episode?
There's 3 and they only get better, honestly.
yes.
Jharal's is hilarious too. Hasn't come up yet.
I'm episode 2, I believe.
You are.
Yeah, looking forward to that. When is that? Do you know exactly when that comes out?
I think it's later this week.
Later this week.
Might
yeah.
be Origin morning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that entirely, but it's around then.
Okay.
How many F words did you get in? Was it 3?
7, I think.
I think at least 11.
Yeah.
You know, Baz Luhrmann and Tom Hanks doing the rounds for Elvis, so I might see if I can suss them out
Yeah.
and show them the clip.
Billy Moore just clearly an extremely infuriating human being.
Yeah, he's just a total knob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just brought that out of me.
More than fair. Jharal, final thoughts of the week?
Yeah, it's still. I'm still very, very confident that if Queensland win this game down here, I think they wipe them. I honestly do. I think they've prepared very well. I was lucky enough to, like I said last week, catch up with some of the boys, and they feel. It's just a different. It just feels different. They feel confident. Ches loves that the side's nice and young as well, with a lot of players. And talking to Dozer, Benny Hunt. He's ready to go. And you don't. I suppose when you talk to your mates about footy, sometimes it's never. We actually don't really ever talk about football. When we catch up for coffees or whatnot. But it was apparent this week when I was chatting to them that they were up for it.
They're locked in.
They're ready. Like, I don't think they're scared to go to Sydney.
The boys are on here.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah, they're not scared to go to Sydney. And, sometimes you can get that feeling of, a bit worried. And I think that's the other thing because, these boys, it's their home now, like most of them. Hunty plays down there, Ches plays down there. So they're not as worried to go to Sydney where, back in the day, there's a lot of the Queenslanders never really played down there. So it's very
10
different.
Broncos.
So it's very, very different. So I still stand by what I said before. If they win this game, I think New South Wales will be very, very worried.
Look, I just wanted to rewind to last week's show, Jharal, because you asked what Queensland were paying to win the series 3-0.
Yep.
I've had a look. So you're getting $11 for that one, and you're getting $3.75 for the Blues.
That's
to
short.
sweep. But just piggybacking on what you just said, winning the first game of the series is very crucial. So out of the 43-game series we've seen, the game 1 winner has won the series 30 times.
Wow.
So it's pretty telling.
I just noticed they've got the Ryan Pappenhausen here going.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just in time.
I like those. I like those stats. And I like I said, I'm fully invested into if they win this first game, which I think they will, with this side. I just genuinely think they're gonna wipe them. Under Billy Slater,
love that.
I just think there's a new era of coaches, and he's about. There's a lot about him that he's got a lot of Craig Bellamy about him. And if that's anything to do with what he's going to bring to the players and on field, I think Freddie and that should be very worried.
And can you explain that a bit more? Like, what are some of the similarities you see?
Oh, he's obviously when I speak to some of the players, like your Hunties and that, just attention to detail in their video sessions. Very well, Chris, how intense they are down in Melbourne in their video sessions, how long they are. But sometimes you can do video sessions that don't really mean much to people. They just there's never really in depth of why. Bill is very, very good at that. He has been good at that when he played the game, and he's definitely taken a lot from Craig and taken a lot from himself. What it sounds like it. So, I'm intrigued to see. I'm also very intrigued to see their game plan on Wednesday because I don't think it's going to be like we've seen before. I don't think it's just going to be, let's just truck it up, get to a kick. I genuinely think it's going to be a new age of how they play footy, and I'm very excited to do the podcast next week and talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, and I'll just say, talking to some of the journos over the last few days, they have also been wowed by Billy. And, Paul Green last year was probably too technical, I'd say, and too meeting orientated. And Billy's done really well to combine just good vibes, good energy with detail.
Well, you have to those places you have to be enjoyable, these camps, because yes, as much as they're serious for both states, you play this game for these weeks to have fun and enjoy it. To know that you have to go out there on Wednesday to bleed maroon, and he knows everything about that. He's one of the guys that, yeah, I'd saddle up for any day of the week if I still played footy, because he's one of those people, and I'm sure his speech on Wednesday night before they run out is going to be pretty special.
All right. Well, we're getting up and about. We're not far away.
Let's go.
Good point to end on. All right, punters, that's going to do us for another week. Hope you enjoyed what you've listened to. If you have, leave us a review, like, subscribe on your favourite podcast platforms. I'm honestly just too up and about for Origin now. I'm being sold on Queensland here, and I absolutely am. Let's end it here.
I just can't wait.
Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. You're not going to see Ryan's Pappenhausen haircut unless you do that.
Yeah. Just face the camera, mate.
In all its glory.
Give it a fluff. There you go.
Find us on the socials at Neds Oz. Enjoy Origin. Go the Blues. And if you're having a bet, always remember to gamble responsibly.